What's up, Mac? Yo, yo, what it do, what it do? Let me fix this camera real quick, dude. It keeps acting like I have a filter on. I literally have no filter on. And it keeps trying to, I feel like it's trying to like enhance my, I don't know why it's doing this. I feel like if I delete the camera and then reapply it, that would work, but I don't know if it's gonna mess things up. How am I feeling? I'm good, dude. I'm good. Just another day. Another day, another dollar, man. Keeping it moving. Dakota, I appreciate that a lot, man. I actually just got done doing that myself. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's having a good morning. I still have the two accounts that I didn't blow. I don't know if you were in the stream yesterday. Lucid has a daily loss limit, so that saved two of my accounts yesterday. I still have like 900 to draw down in those. But I did reload 5 Tradeify accounts, 2 take profit accounts, and 1 more Lucid account. So I have 3 Lucid accounts now, 2 take profit accounts, and 5 Tradeify. All fresh. Absolutely, Santos. We got this, man. Up 800 on eval. There you go. Evals, Chase. Evals. Buschetti? Man, that last name sounds super familiar. Is there like a famous person with that? Maybe Buscemi is who I'm thinking of. Buschetti sounds familiar though, man. So made for one heck of a comeback story. Hey man, in September of last year, I blew everything I had, and by end of October, beginning of November, I was taking some pretty substantial payouts again. So I think I can do it. I mean, I'm not in a hurry, but I think I can do it. I think I can recover even quicker than that. I got 2 fundeds that I'm trading as well, but yeah, I mean, I'm copy trading, so they'll be evals copy traded as well. Do you have a different strategy for evals? No, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it simple, man. Just do what I'm doing. You know, if I was trading strictly evals, I might size up a little bit and be a little more risky, but just gonna stay even keel. I have faith that what I know how to do works. Just got to stick to my rules, stick to the plan. That second trade we took yesterday was textbook. So trades like that, you got to focus on, you know, taking those A+ setups and letting the results play out. Statistically speaking, you know, as long as I'm doing that, I'm going to be okay. PJ said this month was his worst month. So yeah, it's a tough month, man. This month has been very. There's been so much kind of economic uncertainty and policies going into effect, and you know, posturing. You know, trying to get the upper hand in economic situations. People wanting the best for their own countries and doing what they can to make that happen. It causes a little bit of turmoil in the markets. So I think PJ made a good point also about the tax. You know, there's a whole lot of tax. I don't know if manipulation is the right word for it, but utilization of different channels through stocks. You know, declared losses and things like that. So a lot of people are causing a little turmoil in the market. What did I take away from the blown accounts? Don't sign off of the charts until you go through every single indice and make sure that you have orders cleared off your chart, which is a rule that I had anyway. But what I did yesterday is I went through the micro contracts and made sure all the orders were I have a checklist, man. And then I just got to stick to, it's like sticking to your rules. You got to stick to your checklist too. One of the things on the checklist is going through all the indices and making sure all the orders are cleared. Double checking Trade Syncer because it'll tell you if there's open orders. You know, just double, triple, quadruple checking. Had a dream I left a limit on. It's a nightmare, man. It's not the first time I've done that. I think if you trade long enough, it happens eventually, but very preventable. A little push up here. Could be a bearish day. Could very well could. We'll see what happens. Still in the middle of this gap. This new week opening gap. Which has been inverted to the upside on NQ and ES has not. So definitely worth keeping an eye on that. There's London low on ES. Andre, what's up, man? What's up, Nathan? I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the words. Appreciate that a lot. Hope you're doing well, man. I don't see you enough. Feel like it's a rare. It's like seeing Bigfoot. Seeing you in here. Would you suggest to go big on eval account mini contracts? Depends on your where you are in your journey, man. If you're you know, passing evals with ease on a regular basis when you need to, there's no issue with sizing a little heavier. If you're brand new to trading and you're on your first eval or you're in the, you know, just sucking the eval phase, I'd say you need to size down and perfect your strategy and not focus on passing. You need to focus on the psychology more than you need to focus on the P&L. You should never really focus on the P&L, but you know, the thing is when you've been consistently taking payouts and you just had an instance where, like what I just had, where I blew a bunch of evals. You kind of just want to get back in the game so that, you know, you can get back on track. So if you're taking A+ setups, I'd say size a little heavy. It's all about the person though, man. It's not like a one size fits all kind of thing. Psychology is different with everybody. Works benefits. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. Time to usually trade. I get on at 9. I start looking, I mean, I'm eyeballing setups from the time that I look at the chart first thing in the morning, but I don't like to get into a trade until after the market opens. And so from 9:30 till about 11 a.m. Is 2 weeks long enough to pass my first eval? Yeah, I mean, again, there's no time frame. You ever trade PM? I do. If I haven't gotten a good setup, or I think a setup's going to take place that's kind of like forming, and I think it's going to actually transpire in the PM, I'll take a PM trade. What's up, Ghost? How's it going? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well. Cannot complain. Hey, I appreciate that, Hunter. Appreciate that a lot, man. We'll get back. It's all good. Prayed about it a lot last night. Spent a lot of time getting my mind, in the right headspace. So we're good. I appreciate it. The 2 Lucid accounts that didn't get blown, I'm on those. I also loaded up on 5 Tradeify accounts and another Lucid account and 2 take profit accounts. Appreciate that, Kyle. Appreciate it, man. I didn't even know I had this, to be honest. I was just chilling in my closet, and I was like, I'm going to throw that on. What does Flash Manufacturing PI? You mean what is Flash Manufacturing PMI? It's a scheduled economic news. Happens at 9:45 today. Can you explain an S&T divergence? Yeah, basically it's when one of the indices between ES or NQ makes a higher high or a lower low and the other one doesn't. It's about the most simplistic way to explain it. Sort of like ES swept London low there and NQ didn't. It's a slight S&T. Not really. Actually, I don't know that that's a good example. If you let's see if I can find a better S&T here, an actual S&T. Here's an S&T. It's a very slight S&T. So you see these higher highs right here. I don't know if that's even a good example. That's not a good example either. Basically, if this, let's say this came up to like right here on ES and NQ didn't, it stayed down here, that would be an S&T. What's up, Jose? Put something in your Discord this morning. Just joined. Dude, I forgot. I meant to check the Discord. I saw a bunch of activity in there. If you guys posted something in there and I didn't see it, I apologize. I hadn't opened it yet today. How's the mental? I'm doing great, man. Hey, Ghost, I just saw your post, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Makes it all worth it, man. Seeing stuff like that. Hey, Tristan, if you're in here, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that a lot. Appreciate that review. That's exactly what I was looking for. And I appreciate you shouting out the code like that. That's a really good review. I like that. I'll be curious to know how the payouts go in terms of the how fast they are and just the process in general with those. Hey, Nicholas, that's awesome, dude. Appreciate that. Love hearing it. Glad they're helping. Leonard, we got a lot of bearish momentum currently. On NQ, we inverted the new week opening gap that was created on Sunday night. On ES, we have not. So we're still sitting in this new week opening gap on ES. This big gap right here. We're delivering out of it right now. So to me, that creates some resistance, some bearish pressure there. But it's interesting that on NQ we did invert it, and we're pushing back down through it now. So it could be an interesting day. We're gonna be patient and see what price wants to do, and try to get in on a nice setup. I appreciate that, Ghost. God bless you too, man. Love seeing the progress too. For those of you just getting in here, keep in mind that we do have red folder news at 9:45. We have flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. What indicators to use? This is just the fair value gap indicator. I mark out these levels with the ICT kill zone and pivots indicator. So it shows me where they are, this indicator right here. Slowly catching up to you. Hey, man, I see you. I see you. If I don't get back on it, man, I'm going to lose it all. I love to see you doing that, man. Keep it up. So that's the indicator I use that marks out these levels, and then I use the ray tool, and I have all these preset templates for the highs and lows. So that's how I mark those out. What was your 2025 P&L? You're talking about gross or net? It was decent, man. I had a very good year. I had a very good year. I was very blessed last year. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday yet. Hey, Chase, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do not currently use PJ's indicator. Do I think it's worth getting? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know why. In my mind right now, that was so weird, dude. I just reached for a vape. I haven't vaped in like 3 years or something, 2 years. And for some reason in my mind, I just took a sip of my coffee and reached for a vape. That was so strange. Yeah, dude. When in the world was that? Gross P&L before taxes, it was a little north of 126,000, somewhere around there. The majority of that came from October, November, and December. That's what I should be very specific about that, John. That was what actually went into my bank account. What my actual P&L was on the charts, which I think doesn't really matter because I blew those accounts and wasn't able to pull all of it out. I made way more than that. I mean, net P&L was well above that. November, I made 106. December, I made 50 something. October, I made 20 something. And for previous months before that, I was hitting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 around there. So like, you know, if you were talking about just net P&L, it was well into 200,000 or 300,000 range. But what actually went into my account that I withdrew because of payout windows and payout limits and things like that was around 126. I probably shouldn't talk about money like that, but I mean, just for transparency reasons, I guess I'll mention it. since you asked. How did the trade go yesterday? We got stopped out in profit for 160 or 180, something like that. No, like after I took a sip of my coffee, I lost 200K yesterday. No, did not lose 200K yesterday. No, for some reason I was like muscle memory, like went to go pick up my vape. And I haven't vaped in like 2 years, man. That was super weird. Brightspeed finally fixed my lines. There you go. The blown accounts, a lot of those were evals, man, because last week I blew 20 Apex funded accounts that were just shy of taking a 40K payout all in. So it was about 39,000 worth of Apex accounts. I had 5 TPT fundeds that I blew that were taking daily withdrawals from. I had 2 My Funded Future accounts, Alpha Futures account, 5 Lucid accounts. Yeah, that was last Tuesday. And we had bounced back from that. I was just short of passing all of my evals yesterday, 11 evals. And then left the limit order on them, and they blew. 2 of them were saved because of the, I had already separated those from the copy trader. They were funded Lucid accounts. Yeah, John, for sure. Yeah, no problem, man. What's up, Blade? How's it going, man? XFA phase for sure. I don't trade with Top Step, so it's not what it's called. It's called funded, but yeah, stay in the funded phase. Any reason why my trading view is delayed by 10 minutes? Yeah, it's because you don't have data. You haven't paid for the live data. So if you haven't paid for the live data, Jack, it will be delayed. So you have to go to subscription and pay for the CME data to be able to get live data. Yeah, bookmap class tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Appreciate that, Leroy. Appreciate that a lot. Albert, what's up? How's it going? Type fast, how many words per minute? I don't know, man. I grew up using a computer pretty heavily. Actually, one of my learning, I would say, disabilities is that I spent more time typing than I did actually handwriting growing up. So my handwriting, when I'm trying to get ideas out, express myself in a written form, it's actually pretty difficult for me to do. But when I can type, I can sit there and just go to town. If you were to read my written writing versus my typed writing, it's like 2 different people. How hard do you think someone that does not know anything of stock likely to make money in learning? Man, that is hard to comprehend what you're trying to say, but how hard is this for someone who's new to stocks? This isn't stocks. So this is kind of its own thing. Learning market structure is one thing, but this takes so many different facets of psychological discipline that it's not really about, to me, it's not really about understanding stocks. I mean, you need to know when certain companies are doing well or not doing well. It has an effect on what we're trading here. But you can get into this pretty easily, man. YouTube is huge when it comes to the educational side of this stuff. You can learn it pretty quick. So you can do it. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going? What's your view on gold? Do you think it'll reach 5,000 a day? I have no clue, man. I don't follow gold. I do not follow gold. I mean, it's pretty dang close to 5,000 right now. Don't you get live data with any firm? A lot of them, yes. But if you're trying to just trade paper, you're not with any prop firms yet, you're just trying to practice, you'll have to pay for the live data through TradingView. Oh, for sure, Leroy. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, man. It's just like, it's one of those deals where it's like you spend so much time and intentional effort being disciplined and trying to take good setups and doing that, and then it's all like just blows up in your face unintentionally. It's like I could have just YOLO'd a trade and blown the accounts and the same outcome would have happened. That's kind of the thinking I had. But honestly, man, I prayed about it a lot last night. I spent a lot of time thinking about it and meditating. And, I say meditating. I spent a lot of time praying. And I'm good, man. We're good. We bounce back. There's a plan. There's a purpose. Every time that I've been seeing an incident in my life where I feel like it was a setback, it's always been something that has prepared me for something even better. And that's not just some cliche, happy horse crap. That's been the absolute case. So I don't trade Top Step, man. Let's have a good day. I appreciate that, eh? Let's do it. We'll get a little verse of the day in here. Prior to the market, we got 3.5 minutes till the market opens. This is James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. James has some pearls, man. This is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him. All things, I don't like this version. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's what it should say. I don't like this version. What version is this? Yeah, we need the King James version. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's the correct. Don't be pulling Christ's name out of that. It's a good verse. Absolutely, Albert. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why don't you trade Top Step? I don't like being stuck on Project X. I also don't, well, the main reason is I don't like to be stuck on Project X and then they constantly have it going down, and just not a fan, man. Just not a fan. Too many other good firms out there to be stuck with them. It says, is it cut off there? It's Top Step or Take Profit Trader. Is that cut off? Yeah, 40% off, no activation fee is Take Profit Trader. TPT is TPT is definitely better than Top Step. Tradeify, I think, is one of the best in terms of the rules and plans that they offer right now. They have that select plan that they have. I think that's just kind of a no-brainer. It's like Top Step, but you don't have the end-of-day drawdown. Yeah, you're limited on a 50K account. You're limited to $1,000 withdrawal a day, but you don't have the trailing drawdown like TPT has. So the Tradeify select plans are pretty sick. Good afternoon from Ghana. Okay. Appreciate you being here, Tara. Is TPT good for swing traders? I don't know. I mean, you can't hold contracts past market close. So if you're swing trading throughout the day, then maybe, like if you're doing like a AM to PM swing trade, but you can't hold past market close. So good afternoon from Israel. Yeah, okay. I know better than that. I just moved from Project X and charting so much better on TradingView. Yeah. Got it out of eval jail. I could not pass the eval for like a month and a half. I finally have funded again, but for some reason it made me a better trader. That happens, Leroy. Forces you to go back to the basics, man. All right, market open. A lot of liquidity above us here on NQ. ES is pushing up. Could be the manipulation before the dump, or it could be more getting ready to take off. We'll see. Bouncing off that VWAP right now, holding this up there. Good morning from Florida. What part of Florida are you in, Ollie? Rejecting off that VWAP. A lot of liquidity still above us on NQ, but it looks like the VWAP's creating some resistance right here. Pushing a little bit through it now, broke through the VWAP, pushing to the upside on NQ. Liquidity up to 25,660 on NQ. 131 orders stacked right here, just got absorbed. Liquidity thinned out on ES to the upside here. Just a couple of orders, but nothing crazy. 162 orders up at 69.45. VWAP's creating some resistance on ES. NQ coming back down to the VWAP now. Good morning from North Korea. Central, Orlando, Tampa. Okay, between Orlando and Tampa. Pushing back under the VWAP now on NQ. ES bounced off the VWAP. Looks like it could be headed back down to, could be headed back down here. We'll see. ES pushing down hard off that VWAP on the 5-minute chart now. You can't hear me, Ace? That might be on your end, man. Try leaving the stream and coming back. And if you can't hear me, you probably didn't hear me just say that. How's the book map looking? This is NQ on the book map. This is ES. So got a little thin. There are orders in both directions here. Could just be a little consolidation waiting for the news at 9:45. Done for the day. There you go. It's a good way to end the week, man. Yeah, nothing really telling us much there on the book map. This is the 5-minute Ollie, 5-minute chart. Trader Joe's protein pancakes have me on my knees, bro. I'll tell you what gets me like that, man. And it's not, honestly, the ingredients isn't that great for you. The Kodiak muffin mix. Kodiak blueberry muffins. I put a little honey in the mix before I bake them. They'll tear your stomach up. At least they tear mine up, and the ingredients are not that great for you, but they're good. Can you put the VWAP indicator in Discord? Just go into Discord or into the indicator tab here and just search VWAP. And it's this one. It's the volume weighted average price. I haven't changed any of the settings on it. All I did was when I activated it, I turned off the other bands so that there's only one band. And I think I changed the color to blue. That was all I did. It might actually be default blue. I can't even remember. No, there's not hella orders. There are some orders down there, not hella. There's 181 orders stacked at 69.10. You kind of have orders in both directions here. This could be just some consolidation while we wait for the news at 9:45. So just stay as patient as you can. Also, guys, it's Friday, so just be super patient. That's what I would ask or encourage you to do. The news is Flash Manufacturing PMI and Flash Services PMI. What's the best way to learn to trade? Do what you're doing right now by watching people do it. People who know what they're doing. If you get into a TikTok live or a stream and you see this on the chart, you see a bunch of these everywhere. You know, you see constantly, you're seeing like 10 of these on the chart. Don't stay in that TikTok too long. But if you get into a TikTok where someone's giving you market analysis and they're talking through things and they're willing to explain what they're doing, I'd say stick around in there and spend a lot of time on the YouTube educational side of things. You can learn a lot on YouTube for free. Don't spend any money. Just spend some time on YouTube learning. Hugo, what's up, man? Yeah, taking 25, 30, 40, 50 trades in a stream, and every single one of them just hit perfectly. They just, you know, they got these, you know, they got these up here, and they just like, they didn't put a stop loss, man. They didn't even need to. The trade just took off, and it did exactly, it's just perfect. And they did that 25, 30 times in a session. It's amazing. Anyone on YouTube that you recommend? So if you're looking for basic ICT concepts, I highly recommend a channel called T-Trades. T is in like tiger, T-Trades. But there's different styles. ICT is one way of trading. It's one way of making sense of the market. There's order flow, there's momentum, there's supply and demand, there's trend lines. You know, there's a bunch of different styles of trading. You got to find one that kind of makes sense to you. My theory is, and I've seen videos of young guys on here disagreeing with this. I think they just haven't been in the game long enough. I think that you can be successful with any sort of trading strategy, whether it's ICT, order flow, any of that stuff. It's all about the psychology. So I would say 80% of this is mental. Only about 20% of it is market analysis. So find something that makes sense to you, learn it, study it, find a specific model inside of that strategy, and stick to that. No, you're right, Jenko. The TJR 5-hour guide isn't bad if you're brand new to this. It's not, but it's literally that though. It's for people who are, I mean, just off the street, day one, never seen any of this stuff. I watch Trades by Size videos. He teaches ICC. It makes sense to me. Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you find something that makes sense to you and it's working, stick to it, man. Don't let anybody try to dissuade you from it. I mean, if it's trend lines or if it's, you know, supply and demand, there's a lot of hate that goes on with those strategies. There's a lot of hate with ICT. Don't listen to any of it. Find something that works for you. And if you can find success with it, stick with it. If it's scalping, I mean, if you're sitting here taking 3 or 4 points and you're sized pretty heavy and you do that on a consistent basis and you're seeing great results, stick to that. Whatever it is, stick to it. For me, it's order flow momentum combined with ICT market structure. PJ Trades is the GOAT. PJ Trades, in my opinion, is one of the best in the business right now. I've been with PJ since January of last year, right after he first started doing his Discord. Great guy. Helped me tremendously, man. Where I am today is a huge portion of that is to PJ. News in 4 minutes here, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Hey, I appreciate that, Gianni. Been trading for 4 years. 2025 was the first year where I made substantially more than I spent. What was the YouTube again? The one that I like, the guy called T-Trades. T-Trades, like T as in tiger, T-Trades. Check out PJ too. I think he's putting more and more stuff on YouTube with his, you know, philosophy and trading mentality. So check out PJ Trades. I think he's got some good stuff on there. We're pushing up here. I'm still not interested. I think I'm just going to hold off here until we get this news. We got 2.5 minutes until the news. Hey, I appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that a lot. We bounce back. I'm doing great, Nathaniel. Doing great. I appreciate you praying for me, Leek. What do you have planned for the rest of the day? I have some coding that I have to do for one of my classes. I'm kind of looking forward to getting into that, man. I'm learning more and more about coding. I'm very new to it. Python and mostly what we're doing right now. I got to go I'm going to try to find a few more supplies before the snowstorm hits, just to be ready, just in case the power goes out. I'm going to try to get a really hard full body workout in because I don't know once the snow gets here if the gym will be open. So Liquidity has joined the chat. Don't say that, man. I appreciate that, Jaden. Appreciate that a lot. Thanks for being here. It has not started snowing yet, no. I think it's not supposed to start until late tomorrow or maybe early Sunday. But when it does, you know, North Carolina shuts down with just like a ½ inch of snow, man. So if this ends up being anywhere close to what they're predicting, it could be pretty hellacious. Well, Nick, that could be even worse, man. The ice could be even worse. You know how it is in North Carolina. I mean, Charlotte's actually, I think they handle it a little better. Western North Carolina handles it a little better. I'm in Chapel Hill, so more central Piedmont area. And I mean, the world comes to a screeching halt when we get a little bit of ice or a little bit of snow here. News in 50 seconds. I don't know that this will have much of an impact, but we'll see. It is red folder. Order book's relatively cleared out here, and there's still some orders stacked above and below. I mean, there's orders in both directions. This could go either way, to be honest, if it has a reaction. 20 seconds. $9:45, the news. In 10 seconds, or 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Flash PMI is actual as forecasted, and services PMI is slightly under the forecast. Manufacturing was exactly on. So I don't know that's going to have much of an effect. 10:45, Matt. It's or 9:40. Excuse me, 9:45 right now. 9:45. Love how Bookmap always dies out at news. Yeah, it's funny, dude. The Bookmap just all the orders just clear out. Did you pay for any course while with PJ? I paid for the Discord. I was in the paid Discord, yeah, while I was with him. Definitely recommend it. I'm not one to recommend paying for courses or Discords or any of that, but if you're going to do one, I think his are the best in terms of the value that you get. You know. Yeah, Nick, you're not wrong. Appreciate that stuff. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. So they've been praying for you. Hope you feel good. Provide a great place. Hey, Coop, that's great, man. I thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I appreciate you for being here, dude. Getting a push down now on NQ. Let's check on ES. ES also pushing down. Bounced off the VWAP again. There's still liquidity above us on ES up to 69.45. Which would basically be at the top of this swing level here, but pushing down here. What's up, Nick? How's it going, man? Do I get bored? I think if you're trading properly, you should get slightly bored. Yeah, it shouldn't be too exciting. Shouldn't be a dopamine factory. Yeah, Nick, doing great, man. Doing great. Yeah, I was struggling yesterday, but prayed a lot about it. Yeah, we're good. Appreciate you asking. Appreciate you checking. Had a limit order for this short. I would wait until we break out of this range. We're basically still in the opening range here. I mean, it very well could go down. I'm not saying that is a bad play, but I'd wait for more confirmation that that's exactly what's going to happen, because you do have orders resting above us here on both indices. It seems to be that going down would be the more logical based on the book map, but you never know. I appreciate that, Yummy. Brody, I'm doing great. Morning's going well. Got my coffee here with you guys. I'm alive. I got a roof over my head. The temperature's perfect in my room. Got food in my refrigerator. Got a beautiful family that loves me. Beautiful girlfriend. She loves me. I'm blessed, man. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget me too. I got you guys. You guys love me. I love you guys too. I mean that when I say it. I care about you guys. Yeah, dude, the snow is supposed to hit here, and it might just be ice, but I think it would be better if it was snow. I think the ice could be pretty crippling. I know, Dakota. I think the only way I can do it is I need to delete the camera that I have set here and then reopen it. But if I were, I wish I could if I showed you here, I think I can do this. Watch this. Like, this is what's interesting. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Oh, phone's a little dirty. Hang on. This is what's so weird about it. We still haven't broken out of this range. We're just bouncing back and forth here. Like, there's nothing on right now. I don't know if you can even see that. Like, there's no, I know that's not focusing. Let's see if it'll do it right here. There's no enhancement or any filter on right now. I don't know why it's doing that. It's doing that completely on its own. I think I need to delete the camera that I have from the source and then create a new source and do the camera again. I don't know. It's weird though. I love you as well. I appreciate that, Yummy. How do you get TradingView to be real time? You got to pay for the data. You got to pay for the data. So you need CME data if you're trading NASDAQ or S&P futures. Verse of the day. Yeah, we read one earlier. We read a couple earlier. Santi, verse of the day, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That was the first one. Great verse to always remember. The other one is James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. First funded account, what prop firm would you recommend? Highly recommend the Tradeify Select plan. The best, I think right now that's the best bang for your buck in terms of the rules, in terms of the daily payouts. The close second to that would be Lucid. I think the Lucid Pro or the Lucid Black or even the Lucid Flex are great deals. I think that any of those Lucid accounts are great. The rules are good. You know, if you want Tristan Spaghetti, I think is his name in the Discord. He did a review. He wrote a great review last night. I appreciate him doing that about his experience so far with the Lucid accounts, and I think that was a pretty comprehensive review. So I think those two I think Alpha Futures is a great firm. They're a little bit on the higher end of the price range. So if you're new to trading, most likely you're going to blow some fund, or you're going to blow some evals before you get the hang of this. So you want to kind of stay on the cheaper side while also trying to find the rules that fit you the best as a newcomer. So I think for those reasons, Tradeify or Lucid would be great plans to go with. I love Take Profit Trader, but I think if you're not used to navigating the intraday trailing drawdown, that could be an issue for. Yeah, there's Tristan over there in the YouTube. What's up, man? Appreciate that review. Appreciate that a lot. But I think if you're not used to navigating the trailing drawdown, that TPT or Apex can be a little tricky for new traders. I know that it can. Yeah, this is some barcode PA here. It's not ideal. Intraday trailing means that, like, let's say you're in a trade right here, Jace, and you go up $1,000. It comes back to where you're only up $500. You close the trade. You've locked in $500 of profit. That $500 difference from the peak of the trade where you were up 1,000, that $500 difference gets subtracted from your drawdown as if you lost $500. It's very, very silly in my opinion. That's why I recommend, if you're sizing heavy, to not let trades come back on you, to close the trade if you see any signs that it's going to come back, even for a retracement with firms that do that. But Tradeify and Lucid do not have that intraday trailing, so I think that's why one of the reasons I recommend them. CWT is the code for any of the firms. Every firm besides My Funded Futures and Funded Next. And if you want to have a good backtesting platform, I recommend Zella, Zella, and you can use code CWT with them as well, and you'll get 20% off, I believe. Also tracks all kinds of trading. You can tie your funded accounts or your evals to it and get all kinds of analytical data with your trading. I like Alpha Futures a lot, Leroy. I think they're great. They have, especially their payout cap being 15,000. That's huge. I think that if you're a new trader, you're going to probably blow through some evals, and they're on the more expensive side. Even with the discount, you can use my code and get a 10% discount, or any code and get a 10% discount, but you're still looking at about $120 for a 50K account. So if you're constantly blowing through evals, that can add up quick. I mean, even the $80 or $90 accounts add up quick. But if you can save $30 or $40 per eval by doing Lucid or Tradeify, I'd recommend doing that to start out. Once you're taking payouts, I think you definitely need to have Alpha in your mix of accounts that you use. Did I pass my first eval? No, dude. When I first started, no. I blew through like 10 or 15 evals at least before I even got close to passing. I had no clue what I was doing, dude. Like with navigating the rules and all that. I had not done my proper due diligence. It's one of the reasons I do this, is I hope people find this before they make some of the mistakes that I made. When I first started 4 years ago, I started on Forex, and I started with personal capital, and I got cooked. And that's not how you should start. You shouldn't even start with prop firms. You should start on paper, and then once you've developed a strategy and you get more comfortable, then you go to prop firms. And you're still probably going to get cooked initially, even with that. But you're going to be in a better position than you would have been had you just gone straight into trading prop firms. A select Tradeify account has no activation fee and one-day payouts. You have to pass and you have to hit the buffer, but yeah, I don't think is it one day payouts? Well, they have daily payouts. It's not one day. I think you need to trade for at least 2 days, I think, to pass the eval. I have to remember so many different rules that I get confused. So 3 days to funding. So Yeah, it's 3 days. 3 days with the Tradeify Select. Just made the switch to funded. Yeah, Kev, you probably have similar stories that I have, or as I have. When you don't know any better, I mean, that's kind of, dude, that just makes sense. You don't know anything about prop firms. You've never been introduced. I hadn't. And then I discovered Top Step, and I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I can pay this, pass an evaluation, and then make money without having to risk my own personal capital? This can't be true. This has to be a scam. It's not a scam. This is ES right here. This is NQ right here. Might take them long if we inverse the 5. I want to see a sweep of a major level. Yeah, we're sweeping this swing high from earlier, but I want to see something different than what I'm seeing here before I'm getting involved. Inverted that 15 right there, but I still don't trust that. I'm not willing to risk on this. A 1 hour candle just closed. We are pushing up pretty aggressively. There's orders above us here. I'm not FOMOing into this though. I'm gonna wait for a setup. A+ only. What's your opinion on Top Step for first funded? I don't personally like Top Step, man. I think Tradeify would be a better option. I think Tradeify is a better option for multiple reasons. The target profit is only $2,500. Once you pass, you can select the account that allows for daily payouts. Top Step, you got to wait 5 days. I think the faster you can pay yourself and start seeing those results, the better your psychology is. You break some sort of mental hurdle. So definitely think that's the better option. I think it's cheaper too. I might be wrong about that, but regardless, I don't think that you should, if you can start on TradingView rather than starting on Project X, I think this is what you need to do. Once you get into trading and you're in here long enough, you're going to move away from trading on Project X. It's just how it goes, man. That's the newbie platform. And once you get into the game and you've been doing this long enough, you're going to move away from Project X. There are some features on it that are great. I love the fact that you can, have the bracket orders and all that kind of stuff. But TradingView is the way to go. No, 3 days to pass on Tradeify Select. Yeah, ES is pretty empty right here, man. Lucid is good, yeah. Logan, I like Lucid a lot. How much is the 50K Tradeify? The 50K Tradeify Select, you're going to pay right at like $94 or $95 for it with my code or with a code. No trades yet, Taylor. Not really sure. I mean, clearly we're getting some bullish movement here, but I don't know if we're just going to sweep this and dump or what. I'm going to wait for a setup. I'd like to see these levels get taken and then clear signs of a reversal. Tradeify versus Alpha Zero. My homie just got banned from Top Step after taking 170K in payouts last month. They banned him with his accounts and 30K in profit because he was avoiding live. I've heard of that happening, man. I've heard of that happening. Firms will do that, especially if they see that you're like intentionally blowing your XFAs like right before they move you to live. I've heard of that happening. If you get funded, there's no monthly payment. The monthly payment is if you don't pass the eval, then you know 30 days from the time that you bought the eval, it'll pay another fee. But if you pass or blow the eval, you should either cancel you should cancel the subscription and use a code and get another eval. But to answer your question, no, there's no activation fee and there's no monthly fee. Tristan has a good answer here for the Alpha Zero question versus TradeFi. Tristan says the Alpha Zero has such a lower payout with consistency in funded. Alpha Zero not worth it. Advanced is so much better. I would take Tristan's word for it. He trades with Alpha pretty regularly. Why don't people like being moved to live? Because you're still splitting profits with a firm, and a lot of times they'll limit the amount of accounts you can have. You can't have as many accounts. They kind of consolidate your accounts into one, and then you're basically trading live funds at that point, but you're not getting the tax benefits of trading live funds. When you're trading personal capital, there's a 60-40 tax rule that goes into effect that is way better than being taxed at a 1099 rate. So if you're going to trade live capital or live funds, you'd much rather just trade your own and not have to split the profits with a firm, and you'd also get the tax benefits of the 60-40 versus the 1099. So that's why a lot of people don't like being moved to live. So for Tradeify, you would suggest select 50K daily? Yeah, I would, Alex. Yeah, definitely would. Some firms pay a salary if you go live, though, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that is cool. That definitely would be beneficial for sure. I got to use the restroom real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. Take us. You're wild, dude. Samir, what's up? Appreciate the advice. Yeah, man, no problem. I got my first payout of 3K. I'm looking to sync together 2 or 3 accounts. Which platform do you recommend? I think the select accounts with Tradeify are great. Daily payouts, $1,000 pay cap on those. You have 5 of those accounts. You can take 5,000 out a day. I mean, I think that's great. Take Profit Trader, daily payouts with them as well, and the cap is 10,000 per account. So you could theoretically take 50,000 out a day or more. I think, depending on the account size. Take Profit has an intraday trailing up to your buffer, so I think that's a little tough to navigate. I think that Alpha Futures is a great firm because with their advanced plans, $15,000 cap per payout. I think that's a great plan. Lucid is a great firm, great rules. I hear a lot of good things about their customer service. Pretty straightforward. Apex, I think, is great if you're looking to scale. You can have 20 funded accounts with them. The rules are a little bit more difficult for people to navigate just because there's so many of them. Major ones being, there's a 30% consistency rule for fundeds, and there's also a 30% MAE rule, which means if you're in a trade, it can't go against more than 30% of your available drawdown. That can create issues for you. Hey, Christian, shoot me your email and DM. I'm going to send you a Pine script. Oh, dude, Pete, that is huge. I got you. I would love to see that, man. I've been sitting here beating my head against the wall trying to get the stuff squared away. I'll shoot it to you right now, man. Pete, shoot me a DM. This is going to sound so douchey, but I can't search all 17.4 thousand followers. It won't let me do that. So if you could shoot me a DM, it'd be easier for me to find you, and then I'll shoot you my email. That's huge, man. I appreciate that. Can you explain the 40% rule, consistency rule? So when you go to request a payout, Leroy, you can't have one single trading day that equals 40% or more of your total profits. So let's say your total, let's say your total is $1,000. You can't have a day where you had made $400 or more of that $1,000. It would need to be under $400. I think my math's right on that. It's pretty basic, but I think I'm right. Can you explain a 30% drawdown? Yeah. So let's say you have $1,000 of drawdown. You cannot be in a trade that goes into the negative $300 or more in any single trade. Now you can close the trade, reopen it immediately, and you're good. You can navigate it that way. But the trade itself, whether it's closed or not, it's realized or unrealized, if it goes into drawdown 30% or more of your total available drawdown, your available drawdown is 1,000, the trade goes negative 300, you violated that 30% MAE rule. Shot you an email there, Pete. That rule does not apply. That's an Apex exclusive rule. That's an exclusive Apex rule. It's called an MAE rule. Trying to try between Tradeify and Lucid for my first eval. Which one would you lean more towards? The Tradeify Select is definitely what I would lean more towards. Tradeify Select. Love the content, man. Thanks for the down-to-earth approach. Keep it up. Hey, Julian, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. ZB, how's it going? What does NQ book map look like? You got orders above us here. That's basically what you see marked out as London high, Asia high, New York AM high, New York PM high. Basically all of those levels are what you're seeing here. Unicorns don't happen until there's a sweep of a major level and a reversal. So theoretically, we would need to sweep this London high, all that liquidity up there. We'd need a V-shaped recovery to the downside. We need a breaker formation to happen in there. And we'd also need a bearish fair value gap to form on the way down. That would constitute the unicorn. Hey, I appreciate that. You don't even have a name. What's your name? Monty. Appreciate that, Monty. I haven't swept London on mine. Have not swept London on mine. London highs up there. Nope. Negator, hang on, my toilet's running. This candle keeps getting stuck on my... This is the London high from 2:24 a.m. London high. Plant looking healthy, yeah. Lazarus is doing well. 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Does the select have any other rules that I should know about? Let me have it right here. So you can, when you go look at it, it pretty much lays the rules out very well for you. Target profit is 2,500. Trailing max drawdown end of day is 2,000. There is no daily loss limit. There's a 40% consistency rule. There's 0 activation fee. For the funded, if you're doing the daily, you have a max payout of $1,000. There's no consistency. There's a $1,000 daily loss, and the max end of day drawdown is 2,000. I'd keep your powder dry. You recommend funded next? I don't know anything about them, man. I haven't even looked into them, to be completely honest, so I don't know one way or the other. Went along off this 5 minute. I'd wait until all this liquidity gets swept here. Two a.m. to 8 a.m. is my London. 2 a.m. Eastern time to 8 a.m. Eastern time. And this is the high for that session. The reason 2 a.m., not 3 a.m., is because 2 a.m. is when the algos get turned on or something happens. Same with Asia. The actual official market open is 8 p.m., but I have my algo turned on for 7 p.m. Or excuse me, I have my thing set for when the algo gets turned on at 7 p.m. So Asia high got marked. London high, this is at 2:30 a.m. So that 2:30 a.m. high has not been swept yet. You taking it, Tristan? I was gonna say there's a 15-minute inversion there too. You gotta wait for the candle to close, Leroy. Remember? The candle did not close, so it's not inverted yet. Just because price went above it doesn't invert it yet. Yeah, I don't have a banner for the 40% off. And I think did that end last night, Cameron? I thought that ended last night. It might end tonight. 5 micros off of that 5 minute. Yeah, somebody's getting ready to pick up a Tradeify account, let me know if it's 30% off or 40% off, because I can't remember if that ended last night or not. It was 40% off, but I think it's back to 30 now. There's a yes book map. Hey, Devin, appreciate that. On your NQ chart, we fully inversed a 1 hour. Oh, you're talking about the one inside of this. No, we haven't. We have no candle closure yet. We got 41 minutes until this candle closes. So just because price went above it, that is an invert. Leroy, which gap are you talking about? I can, yeah, I can open that. Let's see. Wonder if I can. It's view only mode. I'm gonna try after the stream, Pete. I'm gonna try to open that inside of my. It'll let me open it, but it's a view only for some reason. I think it's because I have TradingView opened in another window. I'll try to throw it here on this chart and see if I can see what you got going on. But I see it; it does open. Yeah, you're not dumb, Leroy. You're good, man. Had to save it, then open it. Okay. I appreciate you doing that, man. Got wicked out. You didn't have your stop below the 5 minute? I thought you would have had it just below it. Let's make sure it works. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to open it here right now and start fumbling with it. But I'll definitely be. Today's a great day for me to start getting. I'm really trying to. I'll show you what I have, and then we'll compare notes. We'll get together after the stream if you have time. So there's London high. We're pretty decoupled, I would say. Not decoupled, but NQ is taking that London high, and ES is pretty far from it. So let's see what happens here. Potential 5 minute breaker here if we get a candle close above and then below. This would potentially be a pretty nice setup. I kind of want to see all of this get taken before I get too interested in this. But this would be the potential breaker. Obviously not a breaker yet. This is why I was saying to be patient until this liquidity got swept. Looking for a short. Would like to see a better breaker form. So if we get a push down and then slight higher, that breaker would be better than this 5 minute because that's a pretty long. It's a long push right there. What makes a breaker? You got a high, a low, higher high, and then we need a lower low for this to actually be a breaker. Right now, it's just we got basically step one of the ingredient, or 2 steps of the ingredient, high and a low. Took the retrace. Yeah, off that 5 minute was a nice juicy move there. A little continuation. Excuse me. By a tick, dude. By a freaking tick. That sucks, Tristan. It sucks. See, that's why I would have had that. I mean, not the Monday morning quarterback, but what my thinking would have been on that. I don't know what your risk tolerance was, but see that strong 5-minute. I think that's a 5-minute candle to the left prior to the formation of the move of the last leg down. My stop would have been just below that wick if I was going to take that trade, which would have been basically the just below the base of that 5-minute gap in there. Yours was right at the bottom of that. I think that's the 5-minute that you're on, or the 15. Can't tell. I think it's 5 though. That's tough, dude. That's tough. Right idea. I mean, at least you had the right idea. It's just a little bit, the stop placement. That's the right idea though. You'd have cooked on that. 60 points. Yeah, the blue line's the VWAP. And the price right here, yeah, it's VWAP. The only reason I'm not thinking shorts yet is because I think that ES will want to come up and catch up to NQ. So NQ could keep pumping or consolidate while ES catches up to these highs. Or it could just turn around, but I think more likely is that this is going to pump up to these highs. So NQ might keep going instead of turning around here. We'll see though. My biggest problem is not taking positions that I know. I literally laughed out loud. What can you do? That's true, man. I mean, at least you were seeing it well, though. You had it just below the inversion. Is that where you had it? Or just inside of the inversion? I'm trying to... I can't see it again. Ton of liquidity still above us here on ES. Just going to keep praying, Jesus. Amen, dude. Do you trade full-time or do you have a job? This is my main primary source of income right now. On the wick low, okay. Yeah, right there. Okay, I got you. On that leg. Literally by one tick. It sucks, dude. I hate that for you. You said you were in 5, was it 5 micros? 5 micros, yeah. So that's not, you didn't take too big of a hit on that. I literally got stopped out, then I ran a TP. Yeah, you're not alone, dude. That's what Tristan was just talking about. By one tick. Lost 200 a bit. Yeah, it's no biggie, dude. Little potato. Little potatoes. Where was your stop, Gage? If I was taking this trade as a continuation, I would have tried to have had my stop just below, either just below this gap or just below this previous candle, depending on my risk tolerance and my sizing. $671, right below the 5. Oh, well, you wouldn't have gotten wicked out then. This is a 5-minute gap right here. 671. It didn't hit. It didn't hit 671. That's 671 right there. You on MNQ? Oh, on MNQ. Let's see. Did it hit it on MNQ? No, it didn't even hit it on MNQ. Might have been just slightly above it. Okay, yeah, definitely hit it. What liquidity would you say we're targeting? Depends on the direction. I think if we're headed down right now, I would say that the previous London low from yesterday, and the previous Asia low would be targets. If we're headed back up, then I think ES is going to try to catch up to NQ and take the London high the way that NQ did, and the Asia high. I'd be up almost a band right now. I feel targeted. You were, man. You were targeted. I'm bouncing back and forth between ES and NQ. Just banged on those longs, 5-minute FEG retracement after all those 5-minute yeah, there we go. You think NQ is going to retrace back down? I don't, to be completely honest. I think we could potentially get a bounce out of this 5-minute, or maybe a dig down to the VWAP here, and then price could potentially keep going up to the. This is only an analysis based on what I'm seeing on the book map as it sits currently, as it sits right now. What would make sense to me is a push to maybe this gap right here, and then a continuation up to these highs on ES. If ES is making that sort of move, then NQ is just going to keep pushing up higher too. And we have all this liquidity above us on NQ. It's pretty far away, but that would be, 130 points away, but that would be those targets. So if ES is going to take these highs, I think NQ is going to also push up and take these highs. Can you bless me money wise? That's a hilarious video, dude. Oh man. Trading all of them. So I'm trading. My lead account right now is one of the fundeds, and copy trading to all my evals. Oh, Pete. Pete with the banger. That sucks, dude. To me, that's the most frustrating thing, but at the same time, like, it's better, like, having too tight of a stop shows that you're trying. It's either two things: you're being disciplined, very disciplined, or you're scared. I think more often than not, it's being very disciplined, trying not to allow, if you read some of these trading books, like, any of the trading books you'll hear professional traders talk about, it's better to figure out you're wrong very quickly and get out than to sit there and be like, oh, it'll come back. So I think it's a level of discipline. But sometimes it can be, for me, it can be you get scared. You know, you're shell shocked because you previously took some losses, or, you know, something like that. Did you buy more evaluations? Yeah, I did, Will. Yeah, five Tradeify. I got 2 Take Profit Trader, 50Ks, and I added 1 more Lucid account to the 2 fundeds that I already have. So I added a Lucid eval. Might be my worst wick out to date. Sent you the 1 minute view. That's terrible, dude. I hate that for you. It's part of the game, though, man. Crushed two Apex accounts and then ran through TP. It's terrible, dude. Can you connect TPT with TradingView to execute trades? Yeah, you can. So if you sign up for their Tradeivate plan, if you sign up for TPT's Tradeivate plan, when you sign into Tradeivate itself, the website, you go to application settings. It's the very top right corner button. And then you go all the way to the right where it says add-ons. You'll see TradingView and you'll have to click activate. At that point, you can use that same Tradeivate login. You can go to the broker tab here on TradingView, click on Tradeivate, and use that same login to sign in, and it'll link the account. So if you execute on here, it'll show over on Tradeivate, and vice versa. You can execute on Tradeivate, and it'll show over here on TradingView. You can only trade Top Step on Project X. You can only trade on Project X. You used to be able to do it, sign up for their Tradeivate plan, and you could trade just like all the other firms, and then they got rid of that. Well, when you sign up for TPT, you select whether you want it to be Tradeivate or Rhythmic or whatever you want. I think I don't ever look at any of the other plans. I don't know what they offer, but I just sign up for the Tradeivate, and that's like the broker that I use with TPT. So, or the platform, or whatever you want to call it, the aggregate. Okay, Christian, can you copy trade Top Step accounts? Can a Top Step account be the lead account in TradeSyncer? I don't know. I want to say no. I'm sure somebody in here has the answer to that. I copy trade and execute on Top Step and have Lucid also. So Kyle, is the answer yes to that? Can you copy, if you're using TradeSyncer, can you link your Top Step account to it and then use that? You use Tradecopia? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure with TradeSyncer if you can do that. So you can with Tradecopia? Yeah, I'm not sure about TradeSyncer, Will, but Kyle's saying you can with Tradecopia. Got to get an API, though. Will, I think it's time to put the big boy pants on and move away from Top Step, man. It's time to make the move. Put the sippy cup away. Grab the bottle opener. Make the move. I'm with Lucid. I just had 1 Top Step. I got you. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just being funny. I have 2 Lucid Flex. I think that Lucid Flex plan is a good deal. That's the eval that I bought last night, was a Lucid Flex eval. I think that's a solid plan. With X. I moved from Top Step to Lucid. I think that's smart, Ryan. I moved to Apex, but Top Step gave me a free account today. I think they're trying to get people back, man. I think they're having like a mass exodus. They need to. What I would use Top Step if it wasn't for the fact that they require you to trade on Project X. I would probably throw them in the mix. I don't want to deal with the issues that go along with that. Jay, what's up, man? It hasn't hit us yet. I'm in the central Piedmont area of North Carolina. Hasn't gotten here. It's supposed to get here on late Saturday evening, early Sunday, I believe. Might be even late into Sunday. 12 to 18 inches, dude. That's rough. Why is January PA so hard? A lot of different reasons. You've had a lot of economic stuff going on with Trump trying to work deals. You had tariff threats. You had stuff going on with the EU. You got stuff going on with Russia potentially joining this peace deal thing going on. I mean, you've had all sorts of different things. Plus, you got people trying to make moves that give them tax benefits. PJ made a good video on that yesterday, I think. People trying to maximize or minimize their tax liabilities, maximize their write-offs and things like that. So you got big moves being made when it comes to those sorts of things, big companies making those sorts of moves. So it monkeys with price. Yeah, business is selling to have the losses on their books and then buying back, things like that. I have 2 take profit accounts. I'm waiting to get my payout to get more accounts. Should I get Lucid? I think Lucid or Tradeify. If you like the daily payouts, the Tradeify Select plans are pretty nice. I don't trade Stefan. I don't trade Forex. I don't trade any Forex. Used to. I'm not a dog, Janko. I'm not doing that. You're not getting me, man. Where do you think the next draw on NQ will be? Next draw on NQ is up here at New York AM high, and the coordinates are 25,891. So these levels up here. %50 range of the 4 hour. Yeah, I see you. Still got 3 hours until that candle closes, though. You have 17 minutes until this 1 hour candle closes, Jay. Or Nick, sorry. So this 1 hour right here above us, the candle closes in 17 minutes and 33 seconds. So if we inverted that, that could become a level of support, justify potentially a continuation up to those highs. Heavily dependent on what we see ES do here. ES could invert this large 1 hour in the next 17 minutes as well. Tons of orders above us on the book map. Potentially, Tristan, yeah. Potentially a bounce out of this. You want to see book map? Got you. This is NQ. This is ES. Ace, you don't focus on that, man. That's the wrong thing to focus on. The more you focus on the money, the less success you'll have. Focus on developing a strategy and a plan that delivers consistent results, and the money comes. It's a good question. When do large orders attract price versus act as a barrier? I think it all depends on the trend of the session. I mean, if you were to, if we're just clearly bullish and we get a large order up here, you'd see price come up, absorb that, create momentum through it to the next level. So it all depends on the trend. You can't just, it's not a univariable analysis that you can make. You have to see the way the price is behaving. What is the aggression of the market orders being placed? Sorry. How much would be an okay amount to say, okay, I'm done for the day? I think that's all up to the individual. I think if you've taken an A+ setup and you've made a couple $100 on an account, it's a good day, man. $1K day to day, boom. There you go, man. That's awesome. How much is Bookmap? All in, it's about $100 a month. You pay about $80 for the subscription to Bookmap, and then you got to pay for their data, which is another $30 or so. 70 or 80 for the subscription, 30 for the data. So all in, 100, 110 bucks. If I were to trade gold during Asia session, what would I check? I don't know. Alex, I don't recommend that, man. From your questions you've asked me before, it sounds like you're relatively new to this, and I do not recommend people who are new to trading be trading precious metals at all. You get cooked. You get cooked really fast. So that's my recommendation. It's coming from a place of experience and a place of abundance of caution, because it's not ideal if you're trying to develop effective strategies and be successful long term in these markets. I don't recommend even dabbling in that. Take the 5-minute inversion if we get it. We got 13 minutes until this hourly candle closes, Tristan. I think that would, if I was looking for a trade here, that would be exactly what I'd be wanting to potentially see. We'd still technically be in this 4-hour gap, but an inversion of this 1 hour and 13 minutes, we got a pretty strong move to the upside here. I'd look for a little bit of a retest of respecting anything below the CE of the gap. I would fade. But if we get a dip into this and a clear rejection out of it after inverting it, I think it would be clean for a long. You use ICT and Bookmap? Yeah. I would say I use ICT to make sense of entries and exits and market structure in general. But the majority of what I do is extremely dependent on the Bookmap. Only reason I ask is because Asia doesn't allow me to, or Job doesn't allow me to trade AM session. I think TJR posted a good video on that. He posts so many videos that I can't necessarily go find it, but I think he was being sarcastic, but he said get a different job. I honestly think that if you can't trade New York AM session, then it would be better to wake up earlier and trade London than it would be to try to trade Asia. That's the better option. Wake up at 5 a.m. Eastern time, get on the charts, and start looking for a trade setup in London rather than trading Asia. Way more volume, way more follow through. Yeah, Tristan, but you've been trading for a while, man. I think if somebody's just starting out, it's more difficult to get used to trading Asia. That's just dude, when I express an opinion, it's not like it's my opinion. It's not gospel. It's not like just because someone disagrees with it that I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Or that I'm right. It doesn't mean that. It just means that that's kind of how I operate based on my experience. Tristan, he makes money on Asia, trading with a group. Like if Tristan had a group to trade with that trades Asia, I'm sure you could follow them and look at this move. The influence that they would provide would probably lead to you being successful during Asia. I personally don't do it. So many fake outs during Asia session. Yeah, that's been my experience. What's bad about Tradeify? I don't think I can say anything bad about them. I think it would be cool, Tristan, to have a group inside of the Discord that does, like if we had a group of people that only could trade Asia and we had somebody who was reliable and actually responsible trading that, you know, traded similar to the way that we do, that could do that and help people that can't trade New York AM. Maybe that's something we could put together going forward in this year. But right now we don't have that. What's up, Benjamin? How's it going? Whatever Christian says, he's demanding that everyone follows and agrees with. Exactly, man. This is a dictatorship. 9 minutes and 45 seconds till this 1 hour candle closes. Hey, I appreciate that, Ashley. Appreciate that a lot. Where are you now? I feel like every time a video pops up of yours, you're somewhere hanging out with some like monkeys and wild animals or something in a jungle somewhere. ES wants London highs. Yeah. The primate. Yeah. Yeah. Gonna get me banned over here, Tristan. Eight minutes. Are you going to take it? I don't know. Here's the problem. Is the blue mark where you bought in? No, I'm not in a trade. You'll know. You'll see P&L and everything on the screen. The blue mark is the VWAP. Here's the problem, Eduardo. If we inverse that 1 hour, I think that would mean that we're potentially going to take this London high and this Asia high, or at least this London high. And that would be a point where if we're going to reverse, that's where we're going to reverse. So we're going to have to, we can't just have a blanket statement of saying, okay, if it inverts that, we're going to take a smile and wave. We can't just have say, okay, if it inverses, we're taking it. What we're going to say is we're going to see how it behaves after ES takes these highs, if it does take these highs. Up 4K, want my payout so bad. Slow and steady, man. Don't rush it. Every time I do that, I get a cramp in my pec. You gotta let it go. Gotta let it go, man. Look for the next one. That's so hard. That's so hard. You would have gotten in. You were down here, so you were, not to make this worse, but you were down here. You'd be up 134 points times 25 bucks. Is that how that would work? Or no? What is it? Micros are $2. So it'd been 10 times 125. You'd be up a little over $1,000. It's more funny. I DM'd you on Insta, but I don't know if it was a bot account. What's your name? Is it Michael on Instagram? Oh, I see you. I got you, man. Yeah. Is Michael Leos? Yeah. I'll shoot you a message back. It got sent to my hidden folder. Still pumping here. Pretty heavy extension that would be, I don't know if we'd want to pull back into this hour or what we'd want here, to be honest. ES just went past midnight, the midnight open. I haven't taken anything yet, Lucas, no. Four minutes, 50 seconds till this 1 hour candle closes. I'm gonna use the restroom again, man. I drank a lot of water this morning. Asia TP is about to get hit, but I don't know if I should let it run. Previous day high. You can trail your stop. London just got taken. I'd say trail your stop. I don't think trailing's greedy. Audi joins F1 this year. Sick. You still got the R8, Tristan? I was looking at those last night, man. It's hard to beat those V10s. Got the same motor that the Huracan has, about half the price. Clean, a lot easier to get serviced if you're in a more rural location. Where do you think it wants to go? Up. Up. Higher. Is take profit trader better than Top Step? I would say yes. Which Audis? I like the R8, man. The RSQ8's pretty sick too. R8's sick. My homie that owned most of it paid me out for the full, and it's in minus 4 after me, so it didn't make sense anymore. Yeah, that makes sense. They're fun cars to drive, man. I've driven one. It was the V10 with the gated. Was it the gated one? Cameron is in the chat. He'd know it was his. I can't remember if it was the manual or if it was the automatic. You only had the manual, I think. If you're still in the chat, Cameron, I can't remember. But it's a fun car. It's definitely a fun car to drive. It's not an Aventador. It's definitely nowhere close to an Aventador. That's in its own freaking category. But if you were looking for like a fun, cool car that most people don't have, that R8 it's kind of hard to go wrong with that. All right, there's the 1 hour inversion. Love the R8s. Also classy, extremely comfortable and reliable. Yeah, dude, I think the reliability is no question. So much easier to get them serviced too. That's kind of a big deal for me because I don't live in a major, there's not the closest McLaren or Lamborghini dealership to me is like 2.5 hours away. I'd hate to have to put the miles on it to do that. So what I'd end up doing is probably trucking it flatbed, paying for it to get shipped over there every time it needed servicing. But there's Audi dealerships close to me. Audi will not work on that Huracan, even though it's got it's basically an Audi in terms of its parts, but they won't do it. Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. Yeah, close to, a couple hours away from Charlotte, but I wouldn't want to put the miles on the car like that every time it needed to go to get serviced. McLaren would make the most sense in my opinion. Like if I was gonna get something, I would probably look at like a 570S like that. Maybe a not a 570S, a 720S, maybe a 750. I think those are sick. 765 LT would be nice, but if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to go ahead and get an Aventador. Yeah, and they got a ton of inventory there too. Ton of inventory at that McLaren dealership. Yeah, pull back into this. It'll be nice, real nice. ES is pumping too. Hasn't taken Asia quite yet. I'm honestly probably about to call it, man. It's 11:02. My rule is 11 o'clock. So just realized that hour candle put me over my threshold. I appreciate you guys though. I love all of you. Appreciate the encouragement and everybody that commented, reached out to me. You guys are awesome. Means a lot. Definitely bounce back. So hope you guys had a good week this week. Hope everybody's green. If you're not, no big deal, man. We'll get it back at some point. So don't make it worse. Don't blow any accounts. Love you guys. God bless you. Have a good weekend. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we'll do a book map live stream in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, the link's in the bio. Copy the link, paste it into a browser, open it outside of TikTok. Otherwise, you might not be able to use it. It'll give you an error message. So appreciate you guys being here. Nick, appreciate you, man. Hope you're staying warm down there. Wish we had some of your weather here. We're about to get a bunch of snow. Love you guys. Hope you have a good weekend. Take care. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. We'll see you later. Full post. We'll see. No, I'm just kidding. I'm done. You guys take it easy.